Hi there, Kira here with another scrapbook layout process video, this time for ink road stamps. So I decided that I was going to make a little fall wreath layout. So I'm kind of showing you the stamps that I'm going to be using here. So the first one is #BeautifulMess. It's got a couple little leaves and a little flower. The next one is full circle, but I actually don't end up using any of those, but I thought I might. And then this one is majestic AF, and I do end up using one of the roses in that one. And I'm scrapbooking this photo of me and my son Elliot, and this is from last year when we went apple picking. And up top you can see my palette, my color palette that I've chosen for this layout. I wanted to go with kind of non-traditional fall colors for this, so I started with kind of that aqua color that you see and kind of built off of that. I knew I wanted kind of a cobalt blue and orange and maybe some jewel tones. So I just kind of mixed and matched and found which colors I liked best together. If you're curious about my little sample colors up there, I actually did that when I received all of my inks, which if you haven't seen my haul video, I'll link it below. But I got a bunch of new inks and I wanted to kind of keep track of what colors I have and what they look like when they're stamped out, because you know they don't always look like what they look on the package. And for this purpose of kind of mixing and matching and making little color palettes like this. So I just kind of laid out which ones I thought looked good together, and then I just went ahead and grabbed all of those inks and got to stamping. So I started with the lightest color, and I kind of go lightest to darkest with this, and I'm just using that tiny little leaf stamp. And what I had done previously is I just took one of our dinner plates, and it's, you know, just a regular dinner plate, probably like 11 inches or so, and I just did a circle kind of off of my page. Mostly I didn't want to do it right in the center because I felt like you would notice if it was kind of like not symmetrical. If it was right in the center, I felt like if it was off the page a little bit, it would kind of trick your eye even if it wasn't symmetrical. So that was my thought process there. So I'm just kind of going through and kind of making little clusters of leaves. I do switch stamps, so I did the first couple colors I did with this leaf stamp, and then I switched to another leaf stamp and do a few more colors, or I do this blue in this stamp, and then I'll do the flowers in that kind of it's like a burgundy purple, and then the color is ruby red, and it is a ruby red. So I will add those in later. While I was making this, you can see it's kind of thin right now, and I do end up kind of just bulking it up a little bit, and it just was just a long process of just layering stamp after stamp after stamp. It probably took me, I'd say, maybe 30 minutes total to stamp the entire wreath, but a lot of that was stopping because I have to stop filming, and I take pictures because you can always get a better kind of judge of how your layout looks if you look at it on your phone in picture form than if you just look at it straight on. So I was taking pictures, sending some to Mary, getting her opinion on if I should add more, and I ended up deciding that I wanted to add in another kind of light aqua color. So this color is very similar to the first color, but it's just a little more blue than green. So I decided to stamp that on there to kind of bulk up my wreath a little bit. And yeah, it's just layer after layer of stamp to get it nice and full to the point where I want it. So I decided again, it's not thick enough. So here I go again with my layering of stamps, and eventually it will get to the thickness that I wanted the wreath. And there you have it. So that's pretty much how thick my wreath will be. And I'm just adding a few more little details, filling in the gaps where I felt like it needed to be filled in, and sticking some more colors where I thought there needed to be more color. And I think that it looks really cute. And I was actually pleasantly surprised how well this turned out. I mean, I had this idea in my head, and I don't know if you guys are like this too, where you have ideas and then sometimes they just do not work out well. And this is one of those times where it just worked out perfectly, almost even better than I had imagined it to turn out. So I was really pleased with the result. And I think it turned out really cute. But when I finished, I didn't really want to embellish that much because I felt like it might have taken away from all of the effort that I put into creating the wreath. So I decided that I was going to work on my title first and then kind of decide later if I would embellish more. And I thought it would be really cute to kind of build a kind of banner across the wreath. And I decided to just spell out Happy Autumn because this is a fall picture. Our tradition is to go to the pumpkin patch every year and go apple picking. And we were able to do that in Washington. There's a town called Bellingham, and we would go there every year and go apple picking and pumpkin picking. And this year we don't know where we can go to do those things. We'll see if we end up going apple picking. We'll definitely go get pumpkins. We have to get pumpkins for the kids. That's kind of a necessity when you have kids to get pumpkins. But we probably just need to do some research and decide where we need to go. So I decided to use the Ink Road stamps, and these are the alpha stamps, and I'm so obsessed with these. I could literally use these on every single layout. They're perfect. They're the perfect size stamp, perfect size alpha, I should say, perfect size alpha. They're not too big, they're not too small. I love the outline, and then filling it in is amazing. It always looks good, no matter if you have it perfect or if you have it kind of wonky. I'm obsessed with these stamps. So I decided to just do these in kind of that ruby red color and the orange color that I have, and I just alternate between the two when I'm stamping my title here. And I just stamp these on white cardstock and then just cut them into banner shapes, kind of freehand, just so they would fit the alpha. So I made sure that it fit the H first, and then I based my measurements off of that first banner. So I'm going to go ahead and try and kind of figure out where I want my placement of these, of this title. And I decided I didn't really want it to go across like that, because since half or part of the wreath is off the page, it didn't really make sense. It didn't look symmetrical if I had the happy kind of starting towards the edge and then the autumn would be towards the inside edge. It didn't really make sense to me. So I'm just going to have it in the center right like that and place my photo right in the center. I bumped that up on foam, and then all of my banner shapes are on foam as well. And then I decide to adhere them to a little piece of baker's twine. And this is just a blue color. It's pretty similar to the color of the blue leaves that I'd added to this wreath. So I thought it worked out perfectly. And I'm just going to go ahead and glue that down. And then I will glue my alphas kind of right on top of that. So I left a little space between the top of the letter and the foam, so then they could kind of just nestle right up against that piece of twine. And that's all I'm doing here. I'm just cutting off the excess of that foam. And then I went ahead and stapled on the side of the page. I stapled that there, but on the one to the left, I'm kind of fussing with now, I'm going to tie a little bow to just stick right on top of there. I'm just sticking my ATG gun right on top of the letters just to have them adhere down to the page because the glue was still kind of wet and it was not drying super fast. And I'm just going to make my little bow with some excess baker's twine here. And then I'm just going to take some glue and just put, we'll cut this down first, cut off the excess, and then just put some glue right on top of that. And then put my little bow right on top of there. So my banner is just about done. And then, so here I'm like, okay, do I embellish more or am I liking it just the way it is? And you know, I just thought it was fine, just like that. I just thought it was super cute. I didn't feel like it needed any more embellishments, and I kind of just liked it the way it was. So I went ahead and looked at my computer to find out what the date was of this photo. When I got my roller stamp, and then I'm just going to stamp right on the bottom of the layout and call that done. So I hope you guys like this. I'm really pleased with the outcome, so I hope you guys liked it, and I will see you soon for another layout process video. You guys have a great day. Bye.